Hi, hello, cat guys. I'm Tangar Igroglaz,
And I'm Vera Shtukensa.
and this is very Stukens. Today we will talk about MMORPG development and actually gamers. I am a gamer. I am playing online games, MMORPGs for almost 20 years, and I catched myself at thought that I started to think about developing my own online game. How it happened, why it happened, and this
Why?
is the question.
I think it happened.
You could ask me a question.
So, why?
Oh, why? Very good question. Great question. So, how I started to understand that I want to develop my own online game. It's very easy. I started to write a lot of suggestions to another more RPG games. So
Yeah.
I started to understand that in other online games there are a lot of stuff which I do not like or which I want to change. I can't find the game, ideal server which would supplement, which would be ideal for me. So every day I write several topics at these online games. I'm trying to change these online games to better, to be more interesting, but it's not really successful because, of course, my vision it's a bit different from vision of another people. I wouldn't say that I'm a genius, no, but I have certain experience, 20 years experience, and I know what game I want to play. But there is no such game.
But these people who made other games, they don't want to listen to your suggestions. So
Sometimes they listen, but in most cases they have limited resources, or they do not want to change something. They're afraid. I think actually they didn't have such experience which I got. So for them, very often it's hard to see what the point of such certain suggestions. Because I played for all these years, I played all online games. It was my main hobby, and I know this stuff. I'm not a manager in online game company. I'm not a professional game designer, but still I see the problems. I see why certain aspects of the game they are bad. So I do not speak about big games like World of Warcraft, because there I do not try to suggest. I'm suggesting at certain smaller communities. I suggest at Tamnet, for example. I suggest create ideas at Ultima Online free servers, where certain amount of developers are trying to do something. So sometimes developers they're listening, sometimes not, but still I feel that it's a lot of stuff designed not as I think it's good. And another thing that I feel that I spend a lot of time on this, and actually people they do not appreciate when I make suggestions, when I make something. For example, Tamnet. Tamnet is great roguelike game, and I spent a lot of time by drawing tiles for it. You remember? Yeah, these graphical tiles. I spent it several days, several weeks, and I didn't hear any thank you. I heard some criticism. A lot of people they use this, but developers they didn't say thank you. They ignored me for a long time, so I a bit what I could say. Tamnet developers they a bit too
rude.
Not rude, but too ignored, and it's that's why I stopped to play Tamnet for some time even, because I was disappointed, I was frustrated. I worked so hard, and they ignored me for a long time. So I was how it would be. I lost some I believed in these guys like as really cool guys, but now I think that for them for them it's just a hobby. I'm taking it too serious maybe, But yes, I take online games very seriously. So that's why I started to think. I make a lot of efforts trying to repair other games. I'm trying to make them better, other games. And it doesn't work really. So I started to think, maybe to create my own server. Not just maybe develop a game, but maybe create my own Ultima Online server. Because there is already cooked products. You just install it and then you could script everything what you want. Yeah, it's a lot of efforts, but it's possible. Or maybe really create more PG at Unity. Unity, for example, Unity, it's engine, which give you a lot of possibilities, and it's actually possible to start. But why I stop? Because I do not want to fail, and I understand that I do not have resources right now, and I do not have too much time. Because if you would try to start something like this, you need to spend all your time into it, put your all soul, and I'm not ready for this. I'm not really, I do not have many friends. I do not trust people very much. So I know huge amount of stories when admin in online game, he helped his friends in this game and he gave them these items for free. So a lot of, I do not want to invite to my project people who I do not trust, and there are not much people who I trust. That's why I can't even start something, because I understand that I wouldn't have enough resources to finish it. But still I'm starting to think about it, and it's something new in my life, because previously I didn't have this. But now I understand that, okay, I make a suggestion, I'm trying to help. I've chosen several games which I like. And Tannet, for example, it's also a game, but I play it, I like it. I wouldn't create another roguelike game ever. Another online roguelike game, because I play Tannet. Okay, I found it. Also, I found right now this server, it looks okay for me, but I'm not sure about admins for now. Could I trust them or not? We would see. But still, I'm starting to think about that I can't find what I want. I do not see a game which has stuff which I think would be interesting and right in online games, in RPGs. So I'm starting to think about creating, because why you want to create something when you start thinking about maybe write a book, because you think, oh, I can't find a book with these ideas which I got in my head, so I want to implement these ideas into the book. It's with games, it's the same. I have ideas in my head and I can't see a game which has these ideas. So it's when you start to creating your game, when you have these ideas and no game around like this.
And maybe to write a book about these ideas also.
It's
much easier. I mean,
I'm already writing a book, my fantasy book, and that's enough. I do not want to write thousands of books. I do not want to go for counts. It's nothing to me. Did I write 1 book or 5 books or 10 books? I have my own 1 book and I'm far away from finishing it. I'll write it maybe for 10 years more, for 20 years. I just like this process. I like to think about my imaginative fantasy world, which I'm writing this book describing. That's it. But actually game, it's another thing. So you see, I have an ideas and I want to implement. Maybe you didn't understood. I want to repeat. Why I do not want to write a book about how this perfect online game has to look, because I want to create this game because I can't find this game. But I do not try to find a book how game, because I know it.
I see.
I do not need to write a book about games because I do not try to read such books.
I see.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe if you write some kind of this book,
Somebody
guys would read this book and create a game.
And no.
It doesn't work like this.
No, it doesn't. Because I tried a lot with this suggestion and different servers with different people, and it doesn't work. I don't say again that I'm genius or I'm unique. I'm just having my own vision, because I spent 20 years of my life in this environment and I know stuff. I know stuff about online games. It's what I know, yeah. And I feel how it has to be. When I play a certain game, I immediately see mistakes and complex things, bad things which could be fixed, and this game would appear much better.
So
Because of
maybe
experience.
Big companies would like to have such paid consultant.
I do not. No, I do not want to make money. I just want to create a game which I would like.
Okay.
So, because big companies, they wouldn't give me freedom to create what I want. So actually, for example, you know Richard Garriott. Do you have time?
No, we have 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Richard Garriott, creator of Ultima Online, now he creating Shroud of the Avatar game, and he has a lot of money. He could do whatever he want, and he creates actually not the perfect game. I'll say like this. It's interesting game. It's okay, but we all hope that he would create something like Ultima Online 2. He didn't. So you see, money it isn't all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys,
Waiting for your comments, please tell us, did you dream about creating game ever? Do you want to create a game? Do you make suggestions about another MMORPGs at forums or to developers? How they reacted it? So see you. Bye bye.
Bye.